This episode of Epic Thoughts is brought to you in part by StreamYard. Yo, you've been talking about doing a podcast forever and you don't know where to start. I get that. Yo, StreamYard is here to help you. StreamYard does everything for you. It sends it to all the places that you want the podcast to go. If you have an RTTP, it'll send it to it. You have a YouTube channel, it'll send it to it. You have a Facebook, it'll send it to it. As a matter of fact, you can even go live on your computer and send it directly to where you need it to go. You can also have audio and video downloads so you can send it to your Spotify page. It does everything for you. It has video assets. You can add videos. You can even add media now. You can add text. You can add scrolling text. You can do so many different things. The list goes on and on and on. StreamYard is here to help you take your podcast to the next level. Hey, here at Epic Thoughts and Heritage Park, we use StreamYard for everything on our podcast. And so, listen, I'm telling you, it's easy to use and it's great to use. So be a part of the team. Join StreamYard today. Click the link in the description and get started. All right? God bless. Everyone has named their dog, but have you ever wondered, what did your dog name you? This is Epic Thoughts. Oh my gosh. Oh God, that was rough. See what happens when you're gone for a long period of time. You start jacking up things. Let's try that one more time because that was awful. We're gonna keep it though, so people know. Hey man, they're still the same Epic Thoughts. They messed up that intro though. So let's do the intro again. All right, I'm gonna do my joke again. Here we go. We all know you people name their dogs, but ever wonder, what did your dog name you? This is Epic Thoughts. I don't even know if that worked. I don't even see what happens when you've gone for too long. Things start breaking on you. Yo, welcome to another episode of Epic Thoughts. I'm your host, Ramon. It's been a long time since we've been here. Missed you. If you didn't miss me, I'm sorry, but you back. We back. We're doing Epic Thoughts again. We're doing podcasting. We're doing this thing again. We have to. We'll get to why we have to in a few moments. I hope you're doing well. How's everything going? How your mama doing? How your brother's doing? Shout out to all the epic thinkers who's sent me DMs and said stuff like, yo, what's up with the podcast, all this other stuff. People who supported us through the years, people who've supported me through the years, people who've been supporting me in this season of my life right now, which I'm not going to talk about my season as of normal, like I normally do right now, but I just want to point out that I am thankful for the kind words, emails, text messages, all that. The warm embraces sent through the internet. You know, for such a nasty place that the internet can be sometimes, there really are some nice people out there. For that, I just want to say thank you. Listen, the real reason I'm out here is I partnered with ChatGPT on my own personal level and said, yo, what can Heritage Park do to really take us to the next level? And the first thing ChatGPT said, you can start Epic Thoughts back up. And I was like, oh God. But, you know, you got... Sometimes when life is throwing all kind of curveballs and different ideas at you, you got to do what you got to do and make things happen. And so here we are. Epic Thoughts is back. I don't know if you are first time or you've been catching up or you've been waiting for me to do a podcast. Here we are. Yo, so much happening in the last few months. This year has been a crazy year, right? Are you doing all right? I know this year has been crazy. There's so much been happening. And I'd been sitting here for about an hour before we started doing the podcast, just kind of figuring out what did I want to share. And I wanted to do the podcast for weeks now, but I couldn't. Summer, I got, little ones all over the place, busy, with absolutely everything and nothing at the same time. It's just ridiculous. And so I finally was able to take a moment and say, you know what, let me set the studio up because we're no longer at Hope Recovery Center. Hope is still looking for a building, but it's it's looking pretty bleak for hope right now. If you want to help that, just let me know. Give me a DM. But it takes a minute to set everything up. So I set everything up. And once I got everything set up and everything running, I was like, okay, so what we want to talk about? And then I just been kind of, I don't know. And so there's a part of me that wants to, just shoot from the hip. But I mean, I've done that before. And I said the same thing over and over again. And then I started like thinking what's sparking my attention, what's getting my heart lately. There's a couple of things I want to share with you. First thing is there's this, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a movement. I don't know what to call it, a movement, a religion. I don't know what to call it at all. But it's this thing going around called Faithless Christianity. I don't know if you've watched it or you're aware of it, but it's I don't know if the gentleman that I'm following is the founder of the idea or if he's just partaking in it. I don't know if it's a trend. It seems to be a trend, but Faithless Christianity, and let me explain to you what Faithless Christianity is. It's taking the directives of Christianity and applying it to your life without trusting in God. Basically, what it is. It's so there's a gentleman who's been really abstract about faithless. I've been following him for like a week now. His name is Brian Guan, and Brian is on a journey right now. And I'm from what I've understand, I've looked through his backlog of videos. He seems to Faithless Christianity was a big part of his life, and now he's trying to prove or trying to either prove the existence of God or disprove this existence of God by acting like a Christian for 30 days to see if God is existing or if his life makes any changes or any progress at all. And so he has 4 factors he does to that Christians do or should do. So every day he prays, he reads his Bible, he practices gratitude, and he tries to apply teachings of Christ. So I don't know if these people, Faithless Christianity, believe that Jesus is real. I don't know if they're agnostic or if they're atheists or what, but they're not connected to a denomination. They're definitely, in my opinion, not Christians. They're not Christians. But they see that there's value in being a Christian, but they're not willing to give themselves completely over to Jesus or to any kind of deity, and even connecting with other Christians, the community aspect of it. It's fascinating to watch because it shows that it's very scary to watch. And I'm going to explain to you both. It's fascinating because you see these people practice the things that Christians should be practicing. So every day he documents himself praying. He documents, and this is, I don't know if he documents himself praying, but he documents that he has prayed. And I believe that he has prayed. He's acting as if Jesus exists in his mind to see if there's a change. Now, before I go on, I don't think some people have been really adamant and really angry about this scenario, and they keep saying stuff like, well, Jesus is this is dishonoring God and God's not going to respect this. I kind of actually think differently. I think these are moments where God literally goes, all right, play. I'll show you that I'm real. And there's an opportunity in this. I believe there's a strong opportunity that this man might actually find Jesus in this process. So it's exciting to see. It's interesting to see. So there's that side of it. Where I kind of have the thought is he is doing this and he's practicing gratitude, he's praying, he's reading his scriptures, and he's applying them. And he's seeing to see if these things better his life. And in the 10 days, I think because August 10th, today's August 10th. In the 10 days that he has done this activity, he has already shown that, and he's even gone to church on 2 Sundays. Okay. So he'll do everything Christians do. And in 10 days, he says that he's already he understands gratitude a lot more. He does apply the teachings, and he sees that the teachings are very well. He said that in the reading of the scriptures, he finds Jesus to be incredible. He finds his teachings, and he says it all in his I believe Gen Z vibe. He's like, yeah, Jesus is really cool. I really like his teachings. He's really is a great person to follow and try to mimic life after. So it's crazy that we're in this situation online where an atheist person is having a stronger walk with God than Christians today are. Isn't that scary? Because think about it. Let's talk to Christians for a second. To all my followers and people who watch the show who are devoted Christian, did you pray this morning? Like, did you seriously have prayer time, like devoted time in prayer? In that time of prayer, did you establish gratitude for anything? And okay, let's say 50% of you said, I prayed. Say the same 50% of you said, yes, and in my prayer row, I've established gratitude. Did you read your scripture? Let's be real, right? Because the truth beyond it is a staggering number of Christians today don't read. They don't read. I heard a pastor, not online or anything like that, and I'm not going to call this pastor out. I know so many pastors, so I had a pastor a few months ago confessed to me that they're really bad at reading their Bible. And I remember thinking, and I asked, like, what's really bad? And the pastor said, I've gone months, maybe a year. And I said, don't you preach every week? And they said, yeah. But I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't really, like, this is a pastor who doesn't read their Bible. So what are you applying to your life if you don't read your Bible? And so here we have this guy who's in the faithless Christian community who does not going to trust in God. Now, if we're going to lay out brass tacks, we know as believers who understand the scriptures and know the Bible, we know that this is works. Okay, this is the definition of works. So I know, don't, before you come at me in the comments and before you come at me in the DMs and say, well, that won't save you. We all know that. That's not the point I'm making. I'm not saying that those things will save him, because they're not going to save him. All right, they were not going to save him. The challenge is he wants to see how real God is by doing these things. If God meets him, and if you know anything about God, you know that he's, first of all, he does not back down from challenges, one. Two, he doesn't get weird about challenges. Like us as humans, as believers, as people, we get weird about this stuff. And I don't understand, but it is what it is. People get weird about it. Oh, you don't want to test God. The Bible's full of people who, and we have scholars like A.Z. Tozer and all these other scholars who test the theory of God, the existence of God. And then, did I say A.Z. Tozer, A.W. Tozer? Whatever. There's all kind of, I had a list, I forgot the names already. But there's all kind of scholars and people who are very smart and instinctive try to disprove the existence of God. Smarter people than me who tried to disprove the existence of God and ended up finding God. Right? It happens all the time. Do the research. It happens all the time. So God isn't challenged by this. God isn't insulted by this. God's not moved by this young man who's been practicing faithless Christianity and says, you know what? Let me take this a step further, because I'm able to be moral, because that's what he is. He's being moral. Because if you think about it, faithless Christianity is a sense of moralism. I'm being moral. Let me see if that really, if I apply the practices of Christianity in my life, can I prove that I can do this on my own? Which in a couple of posts he just posted today, you can see that he had a conversation with someone and he realized, wow, he's really struggling in some areas. So no matter how hard he tries, and this is the thing about faithless Christianity, no matter how hard you're going to try and how hard you're going to work, you're not going to find enough morality to make you feel like you got it together. Right? And I think that's the basis of Christ and Christianity, is the fact that there is no amount of morality that you can do to be quote unquote Christian or quote unquote saved. You can't be saved through your own morality. It's through the completed work of the cross that Jesus died for us. That's where forgiveness of sins. That's where acceptance into the body. That's where Jesus being Lord of our life. That's where it takes effect at. There's no morality that can mend that. You can't be good enough for that. But I'm excited for his journey because I know where that road leads. It leads to Jesus. Knock and the door will be open. Seek and you'll find. If he seeks out the Father, he'll find him. That's how beautiful this journey is for me. And I think sometimes believers get so caught up in the political aspect of it, the reverence of it. Remember, this is a guy who doesn't know God, doesn't have a relationship with God. He's doing his best to find God, and he's going to find God. Finding God is not just this beautiful, it's this ugly. It's not supposed to be this beautiful thing. Sometimes it's ugly, and even in the ugliness is pretty. So he's on day 10 now, Brian Guan. He's gone to church twice. He doesn't know the ins and outs. So he doesn't know the differences between Methodists and Baptists. He knows kind of like ideally what the difference is, but he's definitely all Western. He's in the Western. I think he's in Americas. And he's still trying to figure out, well, how do I get rid of this issue? I have the habit I can't shake. I understand that forgiveness is a big deal. How do I apply these things? And he's going to find more answers, and he's going to have more questions. And I think those things will lead him to God. But my concern is thinking about it. And one of the reasons why Heritage Park seems to be kind of like slowing down is I took a job, which was against my own protocols, right? Needed to make money. So I took a job as a youth pastor, which I love it. The job is great. It's exciting. Somewhat challenging at times because youth, especially young adults, have changed through the years. They're not the same. Things have kind of been kind of different. They don't roll the same. And I'm trying to figure out if it's the culture in itself or just these particular people. But one thing I've noticed, and that's just not just the people that I'm pastoring, but just in general, Christians in general, because I'm back in that world again. It's hard for Christians to do these 4 things that Brian Guam is doing. Right? Like one of the things that I've been really frustrated about, I'm just going to be really honest with you. One of the things I've been really frustrated about for years is this matter of, you've been going to church for any time longer than a year. I'll give you 2. Okay. You've been going to church in any matter more than 2 years. You've been reading your Bible. You haven't missed. You go every week. At some point, there needs to be adjustments. At some point, there should be some changes. And I'm noticing that we still can't stop backbiting. We still can't stop judging. We still can't forgive. Like that right there. See, when I was younger, and even today, scriptures scare me. Scriptures scare me. When Jesus says in Matthew 6, forgive. Before you say this prayer, forgive those. For if you do not forgive, how can I forgive you? I've come to a truly revelation of the scripture for my own personal sake, but at the same time, those words should send shivers down our spine. Like, you're really going to play with God by keeping well, you understand it's hard for me. Bro, going to the cross was hard for him. And he's literally letting you know, bro, you ain't did nothing compared to what I got to go through for your forgiveness. And so it's important that we should forgive. But yet, here we are not forgiving. It's just baffling. It's baffling to me that we have not been able to get past forgiveness. I understand some issues are harder than others, right? If you've been molested of any kind, I think it'd be hard to forgive that person. If you've been, um, it gets pretty bad. I mean, if you've been hurt pretty bad, but some people are like, I can't deal with that person. Why? Oh, because they talked about me. You're 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 literally putting your salvation at risk because somebody talked about you. And here's the crazy thing, right? If somebody did you dirty and they forgive and they ask Jesus for forgiveness and God forgives them, can you imagine that you would go to hell about something that somebody did to you and that somebody's already been forgiven by Christ, but because you haven't forgiven them, now you gotta pay this penalty? That doesn't sound smart. But yet there's atheists and Faithless Christianity community members that are willing, able, and are actually doing the things that a Christian cannot do. That I thought that I've been here long enough to go, well, I've seen it all. I've seen it all now. Because now, and this is something that I tackled in my church maybe about 6 months ago when I preached on a Sunday morning. The world has their own sense of morality. And because they feel like they have a sense of morality, they think they could call other people's shortcomings to the stage. That's why artists and people who don't know God or demanding for the Epstein stuff. They have Epstein files and demanding justice for Diddy, all this stuff. And all it is they found a sense of morality. And because they feel like they could stand on that morality, but truth be told, your morality is useless in the eyes of God because you can never be good enough. You can never be good enough. But here's my problem. When the morale of the world can trump the morale in the church, we got a problem. And with the young people today, you got to be mindful, man. Is the morale of the world trumping your morality? And if it is, ask yourself the question, how then do I share the gospel with someone who's going to just match morale to morale? Right? If they stack morale against your trust in the Lord, you gotta win. But they obviously they could be just as morale as you, and you're not applying the scriptures that you read because you're not reading scriptures. How do you apply scriptures to your life when you don't read them? So shout out to Brian Guan. You're teaching all of us a lesson at this point. Because as a pastor, I'm watching you go through your journey, and I'm praying for you, bro. I'm praying that you find God. I'm praying that you find what you're looking for, bro. And yeah, man, I'm praying that God makes Himself real to you. I applaud you for even asking the question. I know I'm gonna get flack from Christians. It's not us versus them. We want them to. I think sometimes you could be Christian and going to church to the point where you're like, okay, you've been in this too long. You don't even have a concept of what's going on outside of you, right? Because now we're at the place, and I've seen this happen in churches too, where we act like there's no room at the table for outsiders. There's enough room at the table for everyone to eat of God. We should be filling the table with outsiders. We should be filling the table with people who don't know no better. I remember a story. It was so funny. At one of my old churches out here in Rancho, when I was young, I was a young minister. I was in my 20s, just doing my thing. And one of the ladies in the choir invited their friend to church. And what ended up happening was hilarious because the friend actually came up coming to church, and the friend that invited her was on the praise and worship team. And the friend had no idea. This was her first time ever in church. Had no idea what church was about. Didn't know the rules of it. Didn't know what to do, what not to do, didn't know who was the pastor, who was the ushers. She didn't know all that. She just knew her friend invited her to church. And while they're doing praise and worship, the friend gets on stage. Yeah, security was trash. Gets on stage, walks up to her friend while she's got a microphone singing the songs, and said to her, "Hey, I made it." And it was the funniest thing because she had to tell her, like, okay, go sit down or go. I'm sitting right there. And she kind of walked her off stage and someone met him and helped her to her seat. That was funny. That was funny. And my pastor at that time on the staff meeting was rolling. He was like, that's what I love. I love. She had no idea what this was. She had no idea what church was. All she knew that she was invited, and she felt she felt comfortable enough to walk up on stage and tell the lady with the mic, like, "Yo, I made it." So that was beautiful. Um, we we don't get that a lot. You know what else we don't do a lot? I don't know. Maybe it's just my community, the Inland Empire community. I don't see a lot of evangelism, and this is something I challenge myself because I'm like, okay, well, if you don't see evangelism happening, bro, you gotta go evangelize, right? Um, there's an area where on a Saturday, there's a mic like not too far from my house. It's like 30 minutes from here, but on a Saturday afternoon, there's a mic and a speaker almost at every corner, and you're getting like content creators, content creators trying to make content and debate people about theology. There's two or three Hebrew Israelite corners. There's a corner that's Jehovah Witness. There's a corner that's very legalistic, very like this guy told me when we were walking through there. Guy told me, "You eat pork, then you're going to hell." I'm like, bro, like there's. I remember talking to that guy and just telling him, like, bro, there's nobody making it under your doctrine. And so, but where do the real believers, like, we can't keep expecting our friends and our families and those who don't love Jesus or don't know Jesus just to wake up in the morning and just walk into our building. Like, we have to go and get them, go and win souls. And so I don't know what people are expecting. But with that being said, there needs to be a level of godly application. There's no way you could be at church for one full year and not miss a Sunday and still have a problem with forgiveness. I don't care if you're going through a hard day. I don't know if you're going through a hard time. There's no reason in the world you should be at church 100 or 52 times. This is 52 Sundays, but our church we do Sunday and Wednesday. So let's say 104, 105 services you've heard in the process of a year, and you still can't forgive. You still can't shake stuff off. You still haven't given things to God. There's some things in the body of Christ that have been missing. And, we've done as a culture, um, my culture and the culture below me and people who are in ministry, we have done this disservice of kind of moving away from certain things that may have been still biblically accurate, but because it makes people uncomfortable and it's odd and we can't fully explain it ourselves, we've kind of walked away from some things. Um, like, for example, deliverance. Like, I was literally thinking about some people in my life, and I was like, wow, I think sucker needs some deliverance. Deliverance is still really strong in the Bible. It talks about it in the Bible. I'm like, wow. And I know there's other believers, there's other denominations, there's other types of Christianity who say that deliverance falls into the gifts of the Spirit, and some people believe that the gifts of the Spirit are not for today. I'm not like that. I'm an Arminian that believes the gifts of the Spirit are for today. But even with that being said, I don't see people moving in them. So then it's like, what do I believe in? If I know these things and I believe that I believe that the gifts of the Spirit are for today. If I believe that there's deliverance, that God is delivering people, that God can deliver people, haven't seen them in operation. The gifts, speaking in tongues, evidence of speaking in tongues. I believe in that. But at the same time, haven't practiced it. I've been lazy in those areas. Haven't really seen the move of God like that in a good 10 years plus. I think the last time that I was part of a deliverance service, well, I take that back. It was about 3, 4 years ago at Hope. Somebody walked in and it was a uh, manifestation of something. We had to clean it out. But at that time, before then, before then, I would venture to say maybe 12 years, maybe since deliverance. I've seen deliverance, and I see a lot of Christians trapped in their mind, trapped in their sin, trapped in habits, trapped in cycles, and they just can't get out. And you can see continents fail. You can see the continents of a believer just drop. And sometimes I've seen people who've been in church, man, 6, 7 years and love God with their whole heart and soul. You mention somebody's name, or you mention an idea, you just mention freedom, or you just mention one little thing, and their face falls, like the scripture says. Their face falls. Their countenance fall. It gets dark around their eyes. There's literally a person in my life that I'm watching. Every time a same situation happens, their eyes get dark. And I'm like, why does your eyes get dark? Like your countenance is fading. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, the the modern Christian is asleep and they have one hand on the wheel and they're just dozing off. And they refuse to give control to the Father. And because of that, they just have these struggles. They have these battles. And it seems like there's nothing that can shake them out of it. And the world is proving, hey, I can be as moral as you. It's funny how the world is being moral, the Christian is being immoral, but trusting God. I God uses what he can, what he will, what he wants. But there's got to come a point where being around the Father should change you at some point, right? Being around the Father should change you. Being around the Father should do something for you at some point. You should have an encounter, and that encounter should bring change upon you. That encounter should bring life upon you. That encounter should do some great things for you, you know? So I don't know. I'm trying my best to figure it out myself. But yeah, man. I don't know. Let me know. Tell me in the comments what you think. I know, you guys are very good at listening without reacting. And hey, it's pretty heavy for the first time back, but just shoot me a text. Let me know what you think. Do you think Brian Guan's gonna find Jesus? I think he is. Do you think that there's a problem in the body? Maybe I'm just being an unk. Maybe I'm just being old school, and I'm being just like back in my day. Let me know if you think that too. But I just there's not a lot of freedom in the body of Christ. Um, and well, I don't know if this is the show to talk about it. I don't know if this is the episode to talk about it, but here we go. Um, we're finding worth in our churches, which is great. But I'm finding that the more like the mega churches, for example, people are going to the mega churches and they're having a good time because the mega churches they feel safe. Some of them feel loved. Some of them feel community. Whatever it is, they're finding it there. But it's become more of a fandom than it is a relationship with Christ, right? And what I'm learning, like I'm a unk when it comes to hip hop, right? Especially nowadays. Even which is crazy, guys. Still get calls to do shows. This is funny, but I see all the music stuff that's happening. I see the music scene for what it is. I see people rapping, all this other stuff, and I'm like, it's crazy. And I see a lot of cats that don't look hip hop talk about hip hop like they were there. Now conversations about Pac and Biggie and NWA and early Snoop and early Cube, and even now Eminem, all these cats. It's history lessons that young people are trying to give to me. And I'm laughing because I'm like, I was there, dude. I know exactly what went down. That's not how it went. Or that's how it went. Yeah, it was a good time. Either way, it's hip hop is full of fans and not really people who are hip hop, right? Which is probably one of the problems of hip hop. It's the story of the struggle. It's the story of the life. It's the story of what we've gone through as a people, as a culture, and because it makes so much money and it's so infiltrative, people are fans of it, but they're not really into it. That their life doesn't match what hip hop is, and because of that, we have artists that think they get paid to just spew out nastiness and all this other stuff. My point is the genre of hip hop has been a very powerful thing, and it creates these flake fans or these flaky fans. And I think church and Christianity is becoming that way. We have a lot of people who are doing things for the gram. They're getting baptized, and they gotta show it on the gram. They gotta do this whole. There was a trend at one point where the trend was show videos of themselves before Christ and then show them worshiping after Christ. This transition is not for people to see. Your testimony is for everyone to hear, and you have to share your testimony. And people are saying that is their testimony. I think it's a gram catch, and if it's a gram catch, then it's fake to me. I it's fake to me. You call me Unk, but it's fake. It's the genre of Christianity, not the walk, right? Because even at the same time, it's still your profile. It's still your TikTok page. It's still your Facebook page. It's still your X page. The universe of that page is you, right? Christianity is when you realize it's not about you. It's about something greater than you. My relationship with God is not my Instagram page. Like, it's who I am, so it comes out in some of my conversations. It may come up in a reel or two, but my Instagram page is for my amusement, things that make me laugh, things that make me smile. It's a marketing tool to show you what the next single is. That's what that is. And when I'm trying to make something and I'm saying it's for God and I'm flossing it on the page, is it really for God? And I might be wrong, but I'm not wrong to have the questions. And I think that's the bigger picture. I am not wrong to have these questions. I'm not wrong to say, yo, is this the way we should do it? And if I'm wrong, great. But as long as we could check our heart in the matter, I'm just trying to check our heart. Is our heart in the right place? Right? I've seen some people baptized, like my cousin got baptized. And I thought it was the coolest thing because I know my cousin. And I was excited about it. But then for the next 6 months, I didn't see the baptism over and over and over with new fonts and trendy graphics and trendy music and stuff. He was just like, "Hey, I'm declaring my relationship with God, that I'm His. That's what it is." And it seems like he's in a good church because people are like, "Well, this is my dedication to God." Listen, you need to get in a good church because baptisms don't save you, dude. Baptisms, like people, that's just why church is important, and sitting and not necessarily creating content. Maybe church is not the place for just checking our hearts on the matter. But at the same time, like, you need to find out that your morality is not going to save you. Baptism is not going to save you. Having more right in your life than wrong is not going to save you. These factors do not mean none of that. What only thing that it means is there's some kind of, this is an outward expression of my relationship with God, but only Jesus saves. But only Jesus saves. So it's okay to check our hearts and go, is my heart in this? Is my heart right? If my heart's not right, I shouldn't do this, right? If my heart's not right, yeah. And so your church attendance doesn't save you. Watch this. Your church don't save you. The church you go to doesn't save you. Your church attendance don't save you, right? You need to be going to a church that teaches the word of God, and you need to be applying it when you hear it, right? You need to be applying it when you hear it. You can't just be picking churches because all these people make me comfortable. Do you hear yourself now? But yet we still have people in the body who are manipulators. We still have people in the body who um, do things with their body they shouldn't do before it's time. We have we have couples, and the body is full. The churches, and every church that I know of now, is full of couples that live together. That's not right. And if there's not churches that sit there and literally make a statement, you gotta question yourself if am I in the right church. Now, what you do with your life is really your choice, but I'd be remiss if I was pastoring a church and I didn't let people know, hey, that's not God's plan. That's not God's perfect plan for that. So, with all that being said, this is just check your heart. My first day back, please don't come at me crazy. First day back, I had so many things that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about Argentina. I wanted in the World Cup. That was crazy, crazy game. I wanted to talk about my brain is already going fried. The monoculture behind it, if we're going back to a monoculture, which I don't think we are, but like it seemed like everybody watched the World Cup, which was cool. I'm excited about football season starting. Right, we had we had the Hall of Fame game, which was fun. It was a fun little Hall of Fame game. Came down to the wire. Arizona Cardinals got the win, and I love how everyone's super excited and just one game, and now the whole world is like, oh, these teams, my team, this team. Just so much has happened this summer. LeBron is in Philly. That's crazy. Yeah, I made a joke. I put it on because my page is about fun stuff and Heritage Park stuff. But and faith is part of my life, so faith stuff does show up. But I made a statement like, "Yo, I know on 2K, Philly gonna be tough. I don't know how this is gonna work out in real life, but on 2K, people are gonna be playing Philly a lot and using Philly. I would say that Philly's got this thing on lock on 2K, not in real life. I don't think they got it in real life. The most amusing thing though. Here's my amusing thing of the week. I wish I had a clip that I'm gonna maybe find a clip that I could add to Epic Thoughts that would be like amusing thing of the week. All right, please forgive me. This is going to be carnal. This is this is going to be so carnal. This is what I've seen on the internet, and when I heard about this, I could not stop laughing. I laughed for 3.5 days because I couldn't believe that this is actually happening, and it is. If you are under the age of 13, I suggest you stop listening to Epic Thoughts today, right now. And if you are, and you're listening to this, and I'm still gonna continue to tell you. And if you are a parent and you're 13-year-olds in the car, 12-year-olds in the car, I will try my best to buffer some things to keep things kosher. But I can't not talk about it because it's everywhere. And maybe you don't see it. Thank God you don't. Thank God you don't. And it's all from our friend, a friend of the show, Kim Kardashian. Okay. Kim. She's brilliant. Many people think she's other things, but I do think she's brilliant. I think the Kardashian clan is very smart. I do have some personal things that I have against them, but they're just my things. But when it comes to marketing, brilliant. When it comes to business, brilliant. Right? Many people argue that idea. They're worth billions. So Kim has a new line of female underwear coming out, and it's part of the Skims brand. Her Skims brand is her leggings and leotards and things of that nature, and they're recognizable by their nude shades, and so they're really, the Skims brand on alone is worth millions and millions of dollars, if not billions. But now their new line has women's underwear that come with hair. I'm going to say it again. It comes with hair. Hair is included in the underwear. I I kid you not. I saw it and I said, this can't be real. this can't be real. Ladies and gentlemen, it's so real. It's so real. I can't show you. I'm not going to show you because now I'm really self-conscious with my job as a youth pastor. I'm self-conscious because there's a lot of people who from my church will watch this, and I don't want them to be mad. But for my Heritage Park people and the people who've been following me for years, if it wasn't this job, I'd show you. You're just gonna have to trust me or Google it. But it comes with hair, and it comes with different colors. So if you're blonde, you can get blonde. There's black. There's blonde, black, brown, and red. I am not making this up. And the amount of hair you could purchase that comes with it, you can you can you can have a lot of hair, or you can go light, or you can go medium. I can't. And what's crazy is that people are eating it up. People are buying it off like it's selling so hot right now. And like in lieu of that's funny how I said lieu. In lieu of what I've been sharing today, in lieu of what I've been talking about, how nuts it's still. There's people in our world that are still so stupid that they would do this. And they and they go, they look at this and they say, bet, click, add to cart. This is mine's. Yes, I do want next day shipping. Like I can't make it up. Even if I wanted to, I would never come up with this. I this blew my mind so much that even in lieu of everything I just said about the growth of people, wow, and it goes to show. It goes to show. I don't think it's necessary, obviously. Um, I don't think it's smart to do. Or it's smart to do. It's not a matter of being smart. I don't think it's well, I don't know. It's obviously working for Kim. This business model, this new what do you call it? Article is working because people are eating it up. People are buying it. But I just, wow. In the world where technology and people should be smarter and AI and all these other things, you would think that we're smarter and we're better people when we're not. It doesn't seem like we're getting smarter and better because this bad boy is selling off the charts. It's crazy. It's so nuts. There's so much going on in our world today. I want you to be very strong-minded and not be taken advantage of. And if you see it and you Googled it, you looked at it, you said, bet, I need that. Hey, I don't know why you need it. I don't know why you would need it. There's no reason why you should want this. There's no reason you should want this. Absolutely no. For the last 3 to 4 days, I've been trying to figure out what would be the purpose for anybody who would want this. I can't figure this out, but it's out there. People are buying it. Kim's making money. We are making her even more rich than she was last year. This is nuts to me, man. We as a people are the worst as a people, like the worst. There's no reason. There's no reason that you want this. But we have it. There it is. We have it. Heritage Park, PROD.com. That's the website. To get all your Heritage Park. Listen, you can go on the store and I guarantee you that Kim Kardashian's new product is not on our page. It's not our page. I have a special shout out though. Shout out to well, I don't want to take my hat off on camera, but I am. Shout out to Fat Caps. You can't see it really well, but it says Dior embedded. I mean, no, not Dior. Dios is embedded in the cap. Dios is Spanish for God. So, Fat Caps, you have sponsored this episode of Epic Thoughts. Thank you for the free gear. Go check them out on Instagram. Fat, spelled with a PHAT, Fat Caps, on all social media platforms. Let them know Roman sent you, and he might give you a hookup. Let them know that, yo, Robaby or Roman sent me, and he may give you a free hookup. Just DM him, say, I was watching Epic Thoughts and the Christian rapper Roman. Let me know about your hats. He has sponsored this show. He's put us in this fresh, he's got dope caps, man. They're dope. So Fat Caps is the name. So this episode is brought to you in part by StreamYard and Fat Caps. Thank you so much for supporting Heritage Park and the Epic Thoughts brand. Yo, we're going to get out of here in just a few moments, but let you know that we are going to attempt to do this every week. We partnered up with ChatGPT, and they've put together a Heritage Park plan, which is really inclusive for ChatGPT. I'm like, okay, this is crazy. Maybe one day I'll tell you about the ChatGPT story, because it'll freak you out what ChatGPT did to me in the middle of the night, Saturday night. But anyways, I think that's all I got for you today, to be really honest with you. This was just getting back in the water, getting back in there, seeing if I could swim. Thanks for listening to us on Spotify. Click a like that you like the content. Follow us if you haven't already on Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify. Or if you're watching us on HBTV, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the download, and we appreciate you so much. Thank you for clicking it. Happy birthday to Heritage Park Radio. Did you know this week is Heritage Park Radio's seventh birthday. 7 years old, HB Radio has been popping. And the numbers they're all right. You know, a couple thousand a week are listening to Heritage Park Radio. And you can too, right here you can go to TuneIn and type in Heritage Park Radio, or anywhere you listen to internet radio. We got a lot of great music and great hits going on right now. It's commercial free, and it's going on. It's also on HBTV. You can find it there. And so with that being said, we're going to get out of here. I appreciate you. I love you. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for tap in the comments. Tell me what you think of the show, and or let us know on Spotify or rate us, whatever. But we'll see you next week. God bless you. Bye.